Hey, it's your boy, the Casual King, MMA, and today we're taking a look at the female UFC divisions. And in my opinion, why the weight class and even the gender in general in the UFC is a little undercooked. Mackenzie Dern is the champ at strawweight. Mackenzie Dern is not that good. Strawweight at one point was the premier UFC female division, better than multiple male divisions. It had talented up and coming fighters and very good fights. Joanna against Weili Zhang isn't just a good female fight. It is one of the greatest MMA fights that has ever happened. And it is sad that Joanna has retired. Weili Zhang, the other side of that amazing fight, hasn't fought at strawweight in a while, moved up against Valentina Shevchenko. Underwhelming fight, common for Valentina Shevchenko. And then Rose. I mean, those were the three girls at strawweight. Taking names, kicking butt, and putting on entertaining fights. And Rose went from what should have been the greatest female fighter to ever live. Her husband, Pat Barry, who groomed her, took her away from Trevor Whitman, the greatest mind in MMA, who had made Usman, Justin Gaethje, and Rose champions, and now Rose has been on the decline. Same for the division. It is sad to see. Back to Valentina Shevchenko. She just puts on boring, underwhelming fights. People love to talk about her technique, how amazing her striking is. She mixes her takedowns in. She stays at kickboxing range. She flicks your leg. She stays too far away. The second you close the distance, she'll touch you and move, or she'll shoot a double leg. Technically impressive, super boring to watch, is killing an actively good division. And in terms of other like big MMA fights, female bantamweight where Amanda Nunez reigns supreme is dead. Nunez had to come out of retirement to give Kayla Harrison a fight, and while that fight is exciting, I mean I put Kayla Harrison on the thumbnail. Um, it just the fight got canceled. Didn't feel anything for it, and I think I'll be excited when it happens. But it just shows that female MMA is kind of in a rough shape right now. It feels like right now, MMA and the UFC in particular is for the boys. Some rough stats for the state of female MMA is females have a 36% finish rate, while men have a 53% finish rate. There haven't been any female title fights this year, and 1/3 of events haven't even had a female fight. So it feels like under the new Paramount deal, there's been a push away from female MMA. However, hope is not lost. There are entertaining females. I particularly like Irene Aldana. She's at 135, which I view as a dead division, but I'm always excited for one of her fights. 115, strawweight, which was the hot division, that has cooled down, still has a rising prospect like Fatima Klein, who is very, very talented and the next wave of MMA. And I think the point of that being the next wave of MMA needs to come. Female flyweight, 125 is actually good. Besides the champ Valentina Shevchenko, she's 38. She's gonna retire soon. You've got actually talented female MMA fighters like Natalia Silva and Aaron Blanchfield and Wayne Kong. So I think the future for flyweight at least can be bright. We are seeing some of this new wave female MMA talent, which I think is very good. And just like how Kamaru Usman, who was very good, was kind of killing welterweight just by being too dominant. I think once he was taken from the throne, welterweight is very exciting again in the same way that I think flyweight will be. So I don't think this is like a WNBA situation where female MMA is completely dead. I think that the game needs to continue to evolve. Female MMA hasn't been around as long as male MMA. It's not as technical. And with less finishes, that's kind of a problem because the product then overall is worse than male MMA. I think less fights are better. I think having less females on the roster better and putting an emphasis on the ones with real talent or real potential. We are seeing some of those next gen MMA fighters. I think the UFC should cut their older talent. There's no reason to have a female fight just to have a female fight. We really want to push the next generation of the female MMA. The sport is evolving, but you can't you have to get rid of the relics and put showcase fights on for the best females in the world. You can't have like the biggest female fight that's been in like the last decade was an old Ronda Rousey against an even older Gina Carano. It's sad, and this is a potential future for female MMA that we don't want to see. There's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of potential there. I think having less female fighters, putting emphasis on the better fighters, and even a fun idea I have is I like the idea of female main events on fight night cards. It doesn't have to be a pay per view. I don't like them being the because UFC loves like two title fights on the card, and it's like Mackenzie Dern having a 25-minute boring fight before the big title fight afterwards. I think it slows down the momentum. I like the idea of them getting their own position to sell out an arena, being the main event on a non pay per view. And I just think less is more in terms of MMA. If you have less fight, but each fight is good, people are going to have a much higher opinion of it. The stats will improve, and so will the sport in general. Peace.